The Katsina state engages women and children in the fight against desertification. Nigeria loses almost 1 million metric tons of food to 2024 floods. A study shows that prices for organic products in Europe recorded the lowest ever. Good evening and welcome to Himma News at 5. My name is Agabus Eridan. The Katsina state government has engaged the services of women farmers and school children to fight desertification, drought and climate change across the 34 local government areas of the state. The government added that the women farmers and school-aged children as well as volunteers have been engaged in its 2 million tree planting to tackle what it termed indiscriminate felling of trees in the state. Governor Dikko Umaru Radda, who announced this during a tree planting campaign held at Mohammed Dodo Primary School in Katsina Metropolis, said the trees would be planted in schools, houses, streets, markets, worship places as well as farmlands and forest reserves. He said the tree planting campaign demonstrated the state government's commitment towards fighting against desert encroachment, erosion, land degradation and climate change, which he added have adversely affected the state. He stated that the tree planting was more necessary now more than ever because of the dangers of global warming arising from climate change, adding that it will address soil erosion, land degradation and enhance the productivity of agricultural land. The Niger state government has advocated that genuine investors and partners across the world leverage and the various opportunities available in the state to invest their money in all aspects of agricultural practices and value chains to accelerate the transformation of the sector as envisaged by the incumbent Governor Muhammadu Umaru Bago-led administration in the state. The state governor Muhammadu Umaru Bago gave the appeal while declaring open the 2024 World Food Day celebration themed Niger State Agricultural Revolution Solution to Hunger and Better Health, held on Wednesday at the Justice Idris Lebo Kutigi International Conference Center in Minna, the state capital. The governor, represented by his deputy Yakubu Garba, explained that the role of genuine investors and partners was crucial towards the state government's efforts of eliminating hunger and poverty and enhancing food security in the state and Nigeria as a whole. According to the governor, the Niger state government was collaborating with several internationally funded partners in the state to improve and modernize agricultural value chain activities to boost the production of major crops like rice, yam, cassava, maize, soybeans and sorghum, apart from exploring 3 million hectares of arable land and 23 grazing reserves with 90 forest reserves to harvest. The State Commissioner of Agriculture and Food Security, Salihu Babasu, stated that to enhance food security and eliminate hunger and poverty, they were fully committed towards supporting farmers to engage in dry season farming towards the attainment of value chain development program, adding that an independent survey conducted in Nigeria revealed that Niger State was leading in rice production and in yam production, stressing that by the year 2025, the story would be different due to the aggressive agricultural transformation policy of Niger State government. Officials of the Nigeria Union of Fishermen and Seafood Dealers (NUFAS) have called on the federal government to invest in the domestic fisheries sector to help boost foreign exchange earnings and reduce the nation's reliance on fish imports. The union expressed concerns over Nigeria's significant expenditure on fish and seafood imports, which they say is draining the country's foreign exchange reserves. In an open letter to President Bola Tinubu, the national president of MUFAS, Sani Usman Rilwan, urged the government to recognize the fisheries sector as a critical part of agricultural economy due to its extensive value chains. Rilwanu emphasized that despite Nigeria being one of the richest nations in fish production, previous governments have failed to prioritize the sector. He also highlighted the issue of foreign fishing trawlers operating in Nigerian waters under government-issued licenses between 50 million and 100 million naira monthly. The MUFAS president further noted that due to the rising dollar to naira exchange rate, approximately 70% of fish importers can no longer afford to continue their operations, adding that local fish farmers are struggling with high feed costs, lack of modern equipment and insecurity, particularly in major waterways. In a bid to combat malnutrition among vulnerable children in northern Nigeria, Farm Alert has launched Eggs of Hope, an initiative under its Project Sadakat program. This innovative project utilizes crowdfunding to provide eggs, a rich source of essential nutrients, to children in need to balance their diet. The founder of Farm Alert, Femi Kayode, in a statement said by providing a consistent source of protein and essential nutrients through eggs, the project directly addresses malnutrition in children, which leads to improved physical health, growth, and cognitive development. He said it is also important to note that proper nutrition strengthens immune systems, reducing the risk of illness and disease among children, leading to lower mortality rates and a better quality of life. The official launch event, which took place at the Farm Alert office in Abuja, was attended by Hawali Man, technical advisor to the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on Women, Youth Engagement and Impact, who was the keynote speaker. The federal government of Nigeria and the International Fund for Agricultural Development (IFAD) as sister project beneficiaries have emphasized on the importance of supporting rural women to ensure food security, build climate resilience, and strengthen economies. The beneficiaries made the call at a summit in commemoration of International Day of Rural Women held on Tuesday at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The summit was organized by African Union and development partners with the theme, Empowering Women Living in Rural Areas Through Education and Access to Technology, Bridging the Gap for Inclusive and Sustainable Agri-Food Systems in Africa. Speaking as a panelist at a fishbowl discussion, Patricia Achi noted the challenges faced by rural women and how IFAD VCDB has supported her and women in her community to surmount these challenges, adding that the role of women in national development cannot be overemphasized, and that education and access to technology is critical to empowering rural women to achieve inclusive and sustainable food systems. Another beneficiary, Temilade Ebiwari, said capacity building by LifeND on climate-smart agriculture has equipped her with knowledge to adapt to climate change in her aquaculture business. In her remarks, Joseph Asako, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Rural Development, Blue Economy and Sustainable Environment at the African Union, said women living in rural areas are central to Africa's agricultural landscape, contributing significantly to food production, processing and distribution. Key outcomes of the event included a call to action roadmap and a marketplace exhibition, which provided an opportunity for IFAD projects and other participants to showcase best practices and products along different value chains. You are listening to Himma News at 5. Please stay tuned for more stories. Glad to have you back. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, has underscored the crucial role of the private sector in advancing agricultural development in Nigeria. He made this statement at the Stanbic IBTC Breakfast Summit held in Abuja on Thursday. Kyari highlighted the importance of the summit themed Driving Economic Transformation Through Agro-Processing, Building a Sustainable Future. He noted that the theme aligns with President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency on food security and the renewed hope agenda, which is aimed at promoting an agricultural revolution. He called for increased collaboration between the private and public sectors, urging stakeholders to leverage appropriate technology and innovation in agro-processing to enhance the value addition to agricultural produce. Kyari also stressed the importance of the private sector taking a leading role in agriculture, stating that the current agricultural policy is for the private sector to be in the driver's seat while the government provides an enabling environment. He encouraged stakeholders to work towards increasing value addition in agriculture and reducing post-harvest losses in order to achieve food security and wealth creation. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Wednesday called on stakeholders to renew their commitment in making agriculture the backbone of the state's economy. He also promised that the state would reduce the importation of cattle into Lagos State by 50% in the next 5 years. Sanwo-Olu, while speaking during the grand finale of the 2024 World Food Day celebration, said the state is also advancing cattle production through the Cattle Feedlot project at Ibodu, which aims to reduce the importation of cattle into Lagos by 50% over the next 5 years, adding that the project is crucial in promoting locally sourced disease-free beef for Lagos residents. Meanwhile, Special Advisor to the Governor on Agriculture and Food Systems, Oluwarotimi Fashola, said that the ministry is resolute in its mission to ensure that all citizens have access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food, which is essential for active and healthy lives. The Governor expressed gratitude to the Commissioner Bolaji Cecilia Dada for her tireless efforts and passion for uplifting the lives of women, young adults and vulnerable groups in the state. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations FAO has estimated the losses of 855,629 metric tons of food to the 2024 floods. This figure, according to the FAO, represents an amount equivalent to feed 8.5 million Nigerians for the period of 6 months. FAO Assistant Country Representative Salisu Mohammed, at an event to mark the 2024 World Food Day in Abuja on Wednesday, outlined climate-related crisis, inflation, insecurity and economic situation as the key factors that have taken a toll on agricultural productivity and farmers' livelihoods. The theme of this year is the right to foods for a better life and future, with a call for governments and private individuals to recognize the hardship and empathize with vulnerable populations who face unique challenges in accessing adequate and nutritious food. The organization called for a holistic approach including government, private sector, civil society and local communities to provide an enabling environment for production and equitable access to safe and nutritious diets for all through its agri-food systems policies and program. A recent study shows that average net returns for organic commodity crops in Europe have plummeted to the lowest ever recorded. Farmers producing organic crops like corn, soybeans and wheat are facing financial challenges as commodity prices decline, according to a recent study by Agabus. The report revealed that as prices return to pre-pandemic levels, farmers are left struggling to cover their costs, leading to a record low net return of just $42 per acre, despite improved crop yields. According to the latest census of agriculture data, the number of organic farms in the US has declined by nearly 5% over the past 5 years, from 18,166 in 2017 to 17,321 in 2022. Agabus warned that the outlook for 2024 to 2025 is equally precarious and that based on current trends, organic farmers could face further financial challenges. And now to end the news, the headlines once again. The Katsina State engages women and children in the fight against desertification. Also, Nigeria loses 1 million metric tons of food to 2024 floods. Lastly, a study shows that prices for organic products in Europe recorded the lowest ever. On behalf of the production crew, I am Agabus Eridan. Good evening.